So I'm back on with the ct110. I went and picked up a cam chain tensioner, and a tip for the cam chain tensioner bolt that pushes on the cam chain tensioner, because that's plastic and it wears away. And I'll replace the front sprocket at a later stage. Obviously it's pretty bad, needs replacing. They're probably like $10 anyway. I've had to unbolt the frame guard here so I can get to these screws at the top here. I've already shown removing all of this, so I'll pull all these off. Now we'll remove this cover here without dropping everything, I guess. It's at top dead center now. You can hear, well, you probably can't hear it, but I can feel it. There's some wiggle room in the valve. The mark is on the T there, not the F. The F is back that way a touch, and it's on the T now, so it's lined up. Now I'll get this cover off. Now I'll get this flywheel off, hopefully without moving the flywheel. Easy as that. Here's the brand new flywheel puller. So hopefully this works on other Hondas as well, or other bikes in general, and I didn't just buy it for this one specific bike. So I'll put the shifter on there to hold it, and that's a 24mm socket. That'll come off really easy. And get the flywheel off. So we're losing off this tensioner first. It's a 14mm at the bottom there. And there's a screwdriver tip up in there. There you go. Loosen off this. Now undo it. Tensioner out. So you just have the spring there, but yeah, so replacing the tip there as well. Alright, so now tensioner is completely loose. You can see how worn away that is compared to the new one as well. This should be the oil pump gear, which, yeah, it is. So those two bolts out, should come off now. Which doesn't look too bad. That's the two cam bolts off now, so it should just, yep. I've got the cam out now. I need to give it a bit of a clean up, but it looks really good. And then this bolt here, it holds in the cam roller, so pull that through. And I haven't bought one of those, so I hope this one is all good. Cam roller, it's okay. It's not perfect, but it's okay. It's not too bad. So set that in there and look at the cam. The cam looks pretty good. So I didn't put a cam either. I just put a chain and a chain tensioner. And here's the old tensioner coming out now. As you can see, this one is very worn. Really worn out. So we've got the new one to go on now. Here's the new adjuster. As you can see, it is much better. Like that. Put this back on first. do this back up. Not too tight. There we go. So I had a look at another one, and the teeth on the oil pump gear were nearly rounded down, whereas this one looks absolutely fine. So if I had have replaced this, it would have been pretty well unnecessary. So I'm glad I didn't. Here's the new timing chain. Pretty cheap. I think it was 25 bucks. So that's like very cheap. I just got a message from some guy. He's going to drop me a bike. So I was going to have to go pick it up, but he said he's going to drop it to me, which is even better. Let's see if I can feed that up. So it's very hard to see, but here there's a marking there, which that marking will line up with that line there on the head. So it'll sit like that. So here you can see how much at the I don't know, the tip has actually worn down. The new one just pushes in just like that. It can't fall out because it's obviously going to be hard up at all times. I actually think it's going to be easier for me to feed the cam chain up like this. This is how it come out. So let's see. And then it's very hard to see the marking though, is the issue. It's super, oh there it is down there. Oh, so it's in line with that bolt. Alright, so there's the dot, it's going to be right there. It's going to line up with the slot in the head just there. And I'll sit the timing chain back on there like that. Alright, so I'll feed the roller up. Just sit it in between there like that. And I should be able to see what I'm doing. Maybe. Alright, so I'll roughly line everything up now. I've got the roller wheel on. So it's going to sit about there. So I'll get the chain on now. Which, is that going to be right? Looks like it will be. And then so I'll put this oil pump gear back in. Should just slip in and then just fall into place, I'm guessing. Well, it must be in place because when you spin it, it rotates the oil, so that must be right. And that sits on there like that. Yeah, that must be right. So I've just set the flywheel back on to check. So there's the T lined up there, and it looks like I'm one tooth out, so I'm going to have to spin it one tooth. It looks like lined up perfectly. I'm going to sit that screwdriver there to hold it for a second. Make sure the cam is clean. That hole there should be at the top like that, and then turn anti-clockwise to feed it in. So I'm assembling this setup as well. So there, and then it should, yep, there. So then turn it, yep. And that should be correct. Pull the flywheel back off now. Put the holder back on. Remember which way it goes. Was it that way? Absolutely not. It was that way. So that would go on there like that. So it's these two here. Again, these were meant to be a Phillips head tip, but now they're 8mm, so, and from what I can tell, they're not meant to be Loctite. So I hope that's correct, but yeah, from what I can see, they're not meant to be Loctite in there. They're just done up reasonably tight. I can do up an 8mm a lot tighter than a Phillips head tip, that's for sure. So now I'm going to feed the tensioner back up in there just so I can check it. Already I can see that's much better. So I was hard up and that's already looking way better. So this should run much better now. The old timing chain back in, wouldn't that be annoying? Pretty funny though. So this goes in there like that. It does, yes, because that's going to push up against it, yeah. So it's going to want to stop there. Does matter, 100%. I'll do this up now, just until it's firm. With the timing chain tensioner here, you have it loosened off. Then when you're putting the new one on, so see how it's already self-tensioned, just wind it up until it just starts to move, because you don't want to tension it yourself, you want it to leave it self-tensioned. So that's pretty tight. It still has a bit of room there, and then it's already self-tensioned, so do that up, and now lock this 12mm nut there. Then once it starts to rattle again, all you need to do is undo this screw here, which then will re-tension itself. Chuck these cam sprocket bolts in now. It says again that these don't need thread lock or anything. I will check the torque on these though. It wouldn't be much. Now the flywheel washer and flywheel nut go on. They ain't going anywhere. So, and well, without snapping it, and don't worry, I haven't forgotten about this one. And honestly, I can feel pretty good movement there, and it was starting up first kick, so I'm not even going to bother. I'm not going to bother to check the valve clearances. I just want to get it back together, but I will turn it over by hand now, just to make sure that obviously nothing's hitting, because we don't want that. So turn it over. There we go. That's a good sign. See? Everything's moving, nothing's hitting. Glass has died again. So we're chucking the covers back on. I've got this one on already. Now chucking this one back on. And I know my work area isn't very good right now, but my usual spot is taken. So the cover's gone back on now. There we go. And this goes into there. Like that. Chucking it all back together now. So all the bolts are in. I've just got to put the caps on as well. Had to stop for a second because I had that Sherco dropped off. That'll be a nice bike, I think. So we'll do up all these bolts again. I'm going to start bolting all this stuff back on now. See if I can line this up. I'll just line this one up. That'll hold it. So I've got the bar back on now. let's not roll down the hill. And so we'll chuck the fuel on, choke on. So yeah, we'll chuck the choke on. Everything's plugged in. I won't chuck this cover back on because I still need to replace the sprocket. Hopefully it's not in gear. Shouldn't be. And we'll fire her up. Choke off. No more cam chain noise, that's for sure. Sounds really smooth. And valves are definitely loose enough because you can hear them. Sounds really good. Look, I need to get some new tubes for it now and put it all back together so that way I can actually take it for its first ride.